Leeds versus Sunderland at the Stadium of Light, and there's only one thing to talk about in there. Oh my God, Elan Meslier with potentially the worst mistake I've ever seen a Leeds goalkeeper make in my entire life. That is unforgivable. That second half, Leeds were just riding out the luck, and then Sunderland got the biggest bit of luck I've ever seen in my footballing life at the end. Like, I've literally just finished watching it. I cannot believe that he has let that go in. What an entertaining game of football. What an amazing game of football from start to finish. Especially the first half was end to end. Both teams had fantastic moments. But there's only going to be one thing that's spoken about from that game now. And it is that blunder from Elan Meslier at the end. Honestly, I can't believe it. I was so happy. I was like, we've managed to weather the storm. It's been a while since Leeds have had a performance like that where we weren't the better team for the second half of the game. Even for a few periods of the first half of the game, we weren't the better team. We weathered it, and then it just ends like that. Leeds fans, let me know how you're feeling about that in the comments. Let me know if you still think Meslier should keep his place. Because the thing is, I've always been the number one defender of our goalkeeper. I think that he's pretty decent the majority of the time, but when you make a blunder like that, it is very hard to come back from. The knock of confidence that will give him is immeasurable. I don't think he'll be the same player after that for a little while. It's really bad. But let's touch on the game as a whole, because as bad as that was, there was a game of football that took place. And as I previously mentioned, it was a very entertaining first half. Obviously, Sunderland go 1-0 up. Honestly, I've not seen a huge amount of Sunderland this season. I've obviously watched the highlights for every game, but very exciting attacking play from them. I was very impressed with how quickly they moved the ball up the pitch, counter-attacking. They had a low block in against Leeds, and that's something that we struggle to break down, and Sunderland did a very good job of that in the first half when we were actually trying to attack and grabbed a goal. They had a few other chances, Bellingham with a few shots from outside the box. I must admit, as much as you want your players to shoot when the opportunity is available, Bellingham maybe did it a little bit too often, and his shots were particularly poor a lot of the time. He really should have done better with a few of those opportunities. I know one was bobbling, etc., but if that was one of my attacking players, I'd think, maybe after the first two, don't try it again. But I suppose that's what you want. You want confidence in your players. And Sunderland, I can see why that confidence is brewing in the squad, because the start that they've had to the season has been really good. And it's young, it's exciting, it's attacking, and it's fresh. And to be honest, I love to see it, even in comparison to the way that we, Leeds United, play football. I think that they do things in a good way, and the second half really emphasised that. But after that Sunderland opener, Leeds United did strike back, and to be honest, we were in control of the first half for probably 25-30 minutes of it. We should have made more of those opportunities that we had. We were completely on top and had a few half chances, and then there was a fantastic goal, a great cross in from Willian Onto, which Joel Perreault heads in. It's fantastic to see him start up top. It was only a few videos ago that was speaking about how if Perreault is going to get in the team, he needs to be a striker. We signed him as a striker with a fantastic record from Swansea, and then for some reason we've decided to play him as a cam, as a central attacking midfielder for the majority of his time at the club, despite the fact he is very slow and not particularly great at passing. But I thought he had a fantastic game whilst he was on the pitch. That goal tops it off, a great header into the bottom corner. And his scoring record this season has been incredible so far, and that's why we need to keep seeing him as a striker. No more attacking midfielder for Perreault. But we had a few other half chances, a few that got skied. Aronson and Firpo kind of mixed up for one, but then it ended up being a Sunderland free kick, so it didn't really matter so much anyway. I actually thought Ramazani had a pretty poor game today. He seemed to give the ball away a lot. I think for the first 20 minutes, he didn't actually keep possession once other than winning a free kick. He didn't fill me with joy today, but our other attacker in Willian Onto, who provided the assist, for me was man of the match today. 2 assists, he drew 2 yellow cards, maybe 3 as well. He was running Sunderland ragged. Whenever he got the ball, he was by far the brightest spark. And it's fantastic to see the evolution of Nonto, because obviously there was the drama at the start of last season where we all thought he wanted to leave. It looked like from himself and from his agent's point of view that he was going to leave and also wanted to leave. But he stayed and he's really solidified his place. But a second on Sunderland in that first half, because for the first 10 and for the last 10 minutes of the half, they were absolutely fantastic. They were all over us. And it's one of the first times this season as a Leeds fan that I've really seen a team consistently put us under that much pressure. Speaking of pressure, we go on to the second half, in which Leeds really didn't get into it at all. Like, for the entirety of the half, it was practically all Sunderland. And I mean, props to them. They were up in our half for the majority of it, but they didn't really do much with it. They had all the possession, they had a couple shots from the edges of the box, but they didn't particularly cause any massive threats. No one-on-ones, a few half chances from set pieces. But as a whole, as a Leeds fan, I thought it was quite good to see us be able to handle that much pressure for once. We didn't crumble. We were actually able to stop them creating any out-and-out chances and scoring a goal up until that fateful moment. But before we touch on that again, let's touch on the Leeds United goal. Junior Firpo, what a man. He has had a fantastic season for us. And if you'd have told me this after that year in the Premier League when he was getting run ragged by the likes of Mohamed Salah and many others, that he was going to be one of our best players in the Championship, I think myself and most other Leeds fans would have laughed you out the building. I will say, I've actually always defended him, and you can probably find previous evidence of this on the channel. Lots of injuries, was coming up against some of the best wingers in the world when he was just coming back from injury. But this year, wow, I can't believe it. A great goal where he gets the ball forward, has a little 1-2 with Willie Gnonto, and then plants it in the bottom corner. He played striker for Dominican Republic, and maybe I can see why now, because that was a calm and collected finish from Firpo, and something that you don't see very often from a fullback. And again, a big shout out to Willie Gnonto, who, when an attacking player gets the ball in that position in the box, you usually expect them to pull the trigger. But he didn't. He played it calmly back to Firpo, who slotted it away. And at this point, after being on the bottom foot for the rest of the half, I thought maybe we can push forward, maybe we can counter-attack against Sunderland a little bit. We didn't. We just really didn't. They completely dominated us, and it's crazy to say, and it's even more upsetting because if we'd have won this game, my chat right now would be very different. I'd be like, oh yeah, the game plan was fantastic. We defended well, no. But because of a stupid mistake at the end, it feels like lost points instead of a gained point. Maybe I shouldn't look at it that way. Maybe I should look at it as we actually performed pretty well defensively. We got 2 goals against the team who hadn't conceded at home for, I think it was the majority of the season, if not the whole of this season. So it was a good performance from us, and a performance that I think we can take lots of positives from, especially given that Sunderland were, I think maybe still are, top of the league. They're a good team. They're an exciting team, and I expect them to get, in fact, do I expect them to get top 6 this season? I think with the age of the squad, it could quickly unravel at Sunderland. But I hope that they do, because today there was 41,000 fans at the stadium, and that's a crazy stat for me, because when you look at the second tier of English football and the amount of people that still attend games, the amount of teams in the second tier that have massive fan bases, I just absolutely love to see it. As much as I would prefer to be in the Premier League, the Championship is a fantastic league, and when there's teams like Leeds, Sunderland, I don't like to say it, but Derby, who have been doing fantastically well at home this season, and many others that pull massive crowds, it proves how good English football is. And a game like tonight really makes me think, well, even if we are in the Championship, at least there's still some huge games to look forward to. Because let's be honest, as Leeds fans, as Sunderland fans, today it's a game where we don't have a rivalry, but we really want to see us beat the other team, because we know it's going to be a packed stadium and it's going to be an entertaining match. Whoever wins, both sets of fans are going to get a lot from it. And I think at the end of the day, Sunderland probably deserved to win, but I'm going to say a draw feels like a fair result, because Leeds clung on well, but then it came down to that Meslier mistake. And do you know what? It just is what it is. I don't have much more to say on it. I think it is a huge blunder and one of the worst mistakes I've ever witnessed in my life. But what can you do? Like, as a goalkeeper, every now and then things like that happen. I don't know why am I trying to justify I am not Meslier. I had to calm myself down for a second, because I've just come to the conclusion that it's in fact awful and it's cost us 2 points. And if it comes to the end of the season and those 2 points are 2 points that stop us getting in the automatic promotion spots, then I'm going to regret everything that I said in this video. Horrible, horrible mistake. Happens to the best of us. But a big well done to Sunderland, who, today put us under a lot of pressure. We probably have one of the most expensive squads in the Championship, and Sunderland are doing it in a different style, trying to bring through youth, and I massively respect it. So well done to them for earning a point. I think it leaves us in a decent position. If you're a Leeds fan, if you're a Sunderland fan, please do leave a comment and let me know what you thought of the game, because it was just a crazy one, really, wasn't it? And I'm looking forward to seeing you again soon. Please remember to like and subscribe, because I post reaction videos to not only Leeds matches, but some big Premier League, Champions League, Championship. I talk a lot about football, all right? Hit the buttons. Peace.